You get dirty. You get Doofus had his gauntlet on his right arm. Yeah, that's what I was
Wait, let's see. No.
I think I was gonna pick up. Okay. Can you hear me now? Let's advance. Custom. Alright, cause I think that might have been what it was. I was wait, there we go. Hold your ears. I'm a bit too loud. Alright, my fault. Not burial. Yeah, I had to turn down I had to turn up the mic volume like for my desktop, but I had to turn it down in Streamlabs. So that way it won't like blow out everything. I'm working on some I'm working on what was I supposed to say? I'm working on some wallpaper concepts for once I finish with this comic and this wallpaper for a friend. I'm about to start what I'm about to, pretty much all I'll be doing is I'll be working on some wallpapers just for like to create, so I can like post them and just like pretty much just for distribution for people to use. I wish I could draw. You can. You just got to. It's just all in practice and desire to improve. Pretty much like it just takes time and practice and like dedication. Somebody made a good point. He said artists are people who said that artists are people who said I wish I could draw and they did it. Where everybody at? What exactly you mean? Were two people in here besides me. I think they're. Let me check, cause I think that there might be just people who are lurking, or I know one of them. Yeah, one of them is my friend, and she's Nah, it's all good. It's just some people lurk because for like multiple reasons, like either they can't be able to really talk as much. I just walked in. What's up? What's good? What's good? Lurk on me. Yeah, it's all good. I think it was this peg leg on his left leg. It is really pouring outside. Winston. looks a bit weird, but mostly I think I'll get to the Diva. Come on. No, it's not what to do. I was trying to get onto here. Like, for goodness sakes. I think I may draw her in that Nuka-Cola outfit because I love that outfit. No, 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 no. That's not what we're gonna do. My stream lagging. Shout out to you, Antoine. You said your stream lagging. I really hope it's not my internet. I hope it ain't your internet either, but at the same time, I kind of hope it ain't mine because it's kind of. Should follow a little later. All right, peace out. Come on, and hit him with that. What the? All right. What? What was that? I just saw my time with Boba. Anywho, back to Doomfist, and I just need to erase the unneeded. Seems more like it. That does sound like from a RPG film. It usually sounds like something you hear from RPG. Let me turn it up though. Oh, there you go. Alright. No. Okay. Now that we got that out the way, actually, yeah, I'll leave that at that. Illustration, wallpaper, sketch layouts. This is getting close because I don't know why I kept this for so long. But now it's on to work for this wallpaper. More colors, Tammy. Click on that. Yeah, I could do it like that. Down to 40. I kind of want to put a cooler theme, so I probably would be more leaning to like purplish red. What? Oh, wait a minute. That's more leaning to. That's what I was trying to do. 90. 5. Well, but a bit more towards blue. Ish. There we go. And then with a simple change to multiply. And then all I gotta do after that, just erase away. Oh, I must have forgotten to. I should have. Yeah, maybe I should have done that. Yeah, I was gonna work more on this comic and finish it up, but my dumbass forgot to type up the script when I was working on the comic, so, yeah, that ended up going out very badly. Kind of wanted to reset this to where I don't have to worry about it getting into the fur, but also come on, I'm losing my train of thought. What up, Aaron? That sketch layouts I think should be done for now. I think we'll be pretty much better off smooth sailing from here, because all I'm trying to do, especially since I got tomorrow off, maybe I should stream tomorrow morning, because I don't have much else to do. Well, not really in the well, I don't know. I have to see what tomorrow's gonna be like, because knowing my job, they'll probably end up calling me in to work. That was a dumb mistake on my end. Like, very short, far, man, very clean. Thank you very much. No, that's not what to do. It's something I'm doing for a friend, because it also gives me more time to practice more shading. I'll be working a lot more on that, though. Like, maybe on my off times. What I should be doing. boy. There we go. No. You don't mind curious the structure you have going for your layers. In terms of structure, how I do it is I actually for my layers, I tend to just I tend to do sketching and then all in one folder if there's, well, most of the time it happens because there's usually a big need for me to do it, to separate some things into certain layers for opacity and things of the sort, so it can show me better what it shows me better what I'm going to be drawing and what's going to be more just like effects and stuff. I don't think this will work. And then after that, I just work on lining, which is if I take out the color, it looks like this. And if you guys have noticed, if I take this off, I start off all the way out from doing stuff like this to kind of give a silhouette. And then after that, I do it to be more refined, and then from there, I just line it all, as you can see over there, and then I color it in. And how my coloring works is I actually pick a base color of whatever it is I need to get done, so it just looks like that, and then I just make different coloring layers for each. And with that, what it ends up doing is it allows me to be able to make sure I don't overlap certain colors on certain parts that I don't want it on. And after that, like how I do my shading, I actually just take the base color, copy it, and change it to a different color and set it to like different layer masks. It kind of varies, like for my sketch folders. Like it's not too much, but for what it is, it can't get too much, but it's not really a heck of a lot. And I do use folders because it helps keep things a lot organized between what's sketch, what's lining, or what's color. It really helps out a lot. And also have for like different things too, including this background. Like I have background stuff like this chair, and even for like this whole desk, it's just all one big color with a bunch of layers of different colors compounded onto it. So if there's ever an issue, I can actually kind of like just start turning off layers until I find out what the problem is, and I just go to that layer and fix it. It takes some getting used to at first, but like ultimately it is very, very effective, and I like it. And also sometimes before if I can't be able to finish something like the shading for something in a day, because I tend to leave the base color that I have before I actually activate the layer mask, I just create a new layer, and it just like kind of make a little thing I can use to kind of sample off of, so I can just continue using that color. It's not really if you well, at first it does, but then after a while you'll get used to it. It's just a simple manner of just turning the layers off by like clicking the little eye thing, because if I click on this, the whole thing just disappears. And by doing that, I tend to like isolate what the problem is, because if it's still there, that means it's not that layer. But if it disappears, and that pretty much means that's the layer that the error is on, I just go to that error layer and fix it. And I've been kind of doing this a bit as of recent, but I found out that by clipping the layer mask with the pretty much the rest of the stuff, I can actually, if I ever make an error and I have to kind of sketch it back in, I don't have to worry about it going out of what I normally have to pretty much. If, for example, I don't have to worry about it like going out through here on accident, because it's just contained all within. Hair can be hard to do sometimes, keep those tips sharp. Yeah, it's it's kind of a bit tricky from certain points, but I just kind of have like a simple method that still works, like a simple style in which I do it at least. And the shadows isn't always going to be looking like this. As soon as I'm done, I'm actually going to turn the opacity of it down so that way it looks a lot pretty much look a lot less of it there. You'll be able to tell what I'm talking about once I'm finished, actually. Let me just erase that first. Pro Center for Photoshop is your preferred platform. I do. I like it's Clip Studio Paint. I really I like it a lot. But if I ever had the chance to try out Photoshop, I don't think I probably would, because well, actually think about it, yeah, I tried out before in high school, and I feel like trying out all the other different programs. I just feel like they're just better for way cheaper. I was like, I'm not spending all that type of money on that. But if you ever really kind of want to have still a good feel of Photoshop, Photoshop somewhat per se. It I did use it, but it was only because for like photography class. But for digital art, I kind of used it in my photography class like one time, and I never used it. Well, I never really used it much again. I was just like, for what it was, I was like, I don't think this is something I want to use. But there's if you ever wanted to pretty much have your own little Photoshop that's not that you don't have to really worry about paying money for it, I really do recommend Krita. It's a very, very good software. It's free, it's open source. The only issue really with it is the best way I can describe it is the Google Chrome of art programs, and that it will eat up your RAM. It is no joke. Like, they recommend you have 4 gigs. Friends I know said it's best off with 8 gigs, but I've had to use like 16 gigs, and even then there were some times where I was struggling with it. But I say like at least 8 to 16 gigs of RAM should be fine for you if you're using Krita. But yeah, ultimately that it will eat up resources. Krita, let me type it in the chat. And the fun fact, if you ever checked out Freedom Planet, and if you know that Freedom Planet 2 is being in the works, the guy that is doing the work for the artwork for Freedom Planet 2, he's also the same guy that created the mascot for Krita. And he pretty much, Krita was like, him and Krita were like, I want to say something he was sponsored by, I'm not really too sure, but pretty much they were it was like he was a part of the group in a sense. He's a really fantastic artist as well. If you ever happen to look him up, he goes by Tysontan, Tysontan. Dope, yeah. It's pretty fire. I think I'll just leave it at that. Send it that. Just have something. What are your plans for this picture? Pretty much just to work on it, finish it up, and then give it to my friend so she can have it for her wallpaper, her desktop wallpaper. I think I did it in a 1920 by 1080p resolution though. So that's why I don't think it's. Let me go check my canvas size about it. Nope, it's 34 by 2060. So it's a I'm drawing it of pretty essentially 4K in a something fit for 4K monitor. You won't be able to see it in see the stream or anything like that in 4K, but if you were to ever have a 4K monitor and you had this picture, it would work. It will fit without any real like resolution downscaling. Come on, there we are. No. And I'm also seriously considering like taking some these Twitch streams, and like once pretty much Twitch processes them and like makes them available for download, I just download it, run some video edits through them if need be, and then just kind of like upload them to YouTube. It's kind of like Twitch, not Twitch highlights, but like kind of an archives page until I don't know, just kind of just have some way just to post something to there. I did have a YouTube. I do have a YouTube channel, but I haven't been really using it anymore, mostly because of really not really seeing I didn't really see further use for it, because before I was initially using it kind of like as a let's play gaming channel, but then I was crap happened. I couldn't be able to finish up some of the stuff that I was working on, and I was just like, you know, what's really the point? I'm not really enjoying myself. Like, I enjoy the games I'm playing, but like having to sit there and do this, nah, I'm good. So yeah, if I were to take this and put it at to 45. 45 is normally like my magic number when it comes to terms of shading. I just I don't like putting it at that, but mostly it's important to adjust it to your liking. But yeah, I would have there we go. That should be better. But yeah, normally I'm thinking about like kind of like stream some for 2 hours, because for one, it helps me a lot can get done in like 2 hours. Two, I feel like there should be plenty of time if somebody like would like to come sit down and just watch something just for a while, because just to kill time. It may seem like long at first, but like I used to think that like podcasts used to be long, but then I started tuning into some and I just can't stop putting it down. Well, at least for one particular podcast, which for anybody that watches know, it's called the Gaming Illuminati podcast, where they talk about pretty much gaming stuff. And speaking of which, I do need to check out I do need to go back to watching the content. I've been kind of slacking a bit as of late. Oh, what's going on? I need to start drawing more. Well, if you have the time, like even if you just have a simple sketchbook, like as long as you got a pencil and pen, just like it's kind of like just pretty much pick up a pen and just like draw, try to do what you can to improve. Work keeps you too busy. Oh, all right. It's understandable. I don't really just work doesn't have me. My job doesn't have me working for too long, but whenever I come home, I try to at least draw something for the day, at least during the weekdays. During the weekends, I'm like, nope, I'm not doing that. I'm not straining myself too much. Parts I need to work on is the rendering part. Oh, for like video editing, yeah. Wait a minute, no, I'm just thinking, oh my gosh. I'm talking about for art, you're talking about like just pretty much work on your quality if you work on the quality of your art? Details, colors, composition. Yeah, I kind of feel you on that. Like, personally, I know that there's some things I just need to work on myself in terms of details. Like, I really do need to start improving on that. But other than that, I feel like I just need to really just practice, study. References are like one of the best things that you can ever use. Like, there's some people that consider it cheating. I don't know why. But hard to do a sketch pad with 5 minutes. Yeah, I kind of feel that, but I feel like whenever you do have like any free time, like to yourself, like sometimes it's kind of like one of my friends sometimes said, like, you don't have to make sure everything's perfect, just as long as you can sit down at least 30 minutes to yourself and draw for like at least 30 minutes, you should be it'll do you some good for like warm-ups or exercises. One thing that you're happy with is better than like 31 things that you're not, or that you feel you had to rush. And this was something I had to learn even with having to deal with my perfectionism. Sounds easy to set aside 30 minutes a day because at the time, but that's just hard. Yeah. I first started, it was a bit tough for me when I was doing it, but eventually it just, like I said, you'll just get used to it. It's kind of like having to sit there when you're riding a bike for the first time, it's very, it seems very hard at first, but then over time you get used to it. Now let's turn this back up. This music sounds like something you hear from Mass Effect. Is it something from Mass Effect? No, it's not. It's called There Came an Echo, music by Big Giant Circles. Okay. Radio lock. Okay. I was reading off a pretzel and I could have just read off the stream chat. That's great. Some Dolphins backlight. I don't really think so. I feel like I'm gonna I'm just kind of keeping the opacity of this turned up so I can actually see where I'm going to be erasing at. I don't know. Wait a minute, there we go. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? Why can't I? There we are. Oh. Alright. Sometimes, though, what I'm going to need to do is... Because the effect that the shower curtain has the same effect. Let me... Well, actually, no. Let me do that. And then... Color wand. Do you just thought about doing stuff like that? Sounds stressful. I actually have been doing... I did commissions since like I say 2000. Wait, let me go back to when I first did my first commission. I think it was like 2015. And then I stopped around this year because I got tired of it. Yeah, let me go and find it. Yeah. First commission I did was like back in like September 7th, 2015. So yeah, I've been doing it for a while. It is very stressful, but it pretty much, you gotta treat it like an actual, you gotta treat it like a real job. Did you make bank on that stuff? Nah, I started off low because I wanted to, on one hand I didn't want to undersell myself, but at the same time, I was like kind of, for one, I was just starting out after like posting like a whole bunch of stuff. Like some people were asking if I do take commissions, but then oh my gosh, I hate that. Brush size is always for somehow, well, the brush is somehow bigger than the cursor. Makes no sense. But at first I didn't, but then over time I started raising my prices. On one hand, I don't undersell myself. At the same time, I also had to meet demand. If there wasn't that much of a demand, then but I had a whole lot of supply. I was gonna have to try to keep the price low, and then eventually people started buying stuff, and then over time I started raising prices, and then after that, I say it was pretty much just like I was making at least like 75 off of an illustration like this, which takes me like I'd say about like possibly like 6-ish hours total to work on. What platforms do you post your art on? Originally when I first started out, I was at first I was kind of posting it to my Deviantart, but then I got locked out of my Deviantart accounts, so, well, at least as of late, but for most of the part I actually was posting to 6 hours for 75, but really first I was posting to Furfinity, which is a furry site, because it was a lot of people there are actually very supportive, though you will get those people like on any other site. You either get art thieves or you get someone who want to try to have you out your work, or say $75, nobody's buying that, as like 3 other people proceeded to buy your stuff. Hello, boy, yeah. Really, that's why I kind of like don't really let the whole, if someone tells me that there's like, I'd be careful about this site because it has art thieves. Like, there's art thieves on every site. I just got to be careful. I don't really let that kind of scare me too much. That's why I still post to Instagram, and I still I'm actually going to go back to posting to Facebook too. Though one place I do actually have to be careful about is I think Tumblr, because they said that because somebody told me that apparently there's been some people that have been adding like kind of bots to the site, like not people who run it, but some people who post I think to like their account, and if somebody posts art as while it's being posted, the bot automatically downloads that picture in that resolution. So pretty much they can get access to your work right as you get it, right as it's posted. And if they wanted to, they could just they could pretty much use that to steal your works. So that's why I'm just trying to be careful with. That's one place I do have to be careful about, because motherfuckers will try to be slick over something that they could have just like paid. The one actual funny thing about art thieves is that they'll sit there and like a lot of times they wouldn't need to do it if they actually paid an artist to draw stuff for them, but they'll when you contact them and get onto them about it, their first response is usually, why don't you just actually use your money and get a real job. Which is one of the most ironic things I've ever heard in my life. I was like, okay, this motherfucker is really just reaching for an L, so that's where I'm just like, yeah, you're a cornball. I'll just make a pretty much report you and get you the fuck out of here. No, it's not what to do. Also, one benefit I do like about my new mic is that since it's a desktop mic, and pretty much what I got is a Razi Sphera. But how it is, it's one thing I do love about it is that since it's a one of the things I do love about it is that since I have a desktop mic rather than a mic that's attached to my headset, if I'm listening to music, it's kind of like blaring from my headset. It doesn't get picked up on my mic, unless of course it's playing straight from the TV. Oh, I need to get a good focus. One of the things I need to work on is bounce light. I'm not gonna lie, that's one of the things I do need to work on too. Like, but normally I just don't, just because I'm just like, I don't, either I forget or I just don't feel like it. Good vocal mic. For what this is a Razi mic actually does the job very well. Like from what I've heard from a lot of people who watch me stream, because and this mic is really only like $45, but I got it for 40 from a code. So that was a bit of savings on my end. No, that's not what to do. Well, $5 off. $5 made a whole lot of difference. Sometimes it really can't mean a difference. I'm not gonna lie though. You could do a lot with $5. That's like, just get like 5 more. You can be able to get gas money for somebody, or you can even use it for gas money as long as the distance is reasonable. So I think this should be good, but at least for basic standards. But I feel like I'm going to be getting some more ironing out. Oh, it's not what to do either. Coffee or no coffee, right? $5 is $5. I'm saying that's there's an actual donut shop right across the street that normally when I wake up in the morning I just go straight over to it, get like good cup of coffee and some breakfast burrito. No. There we go. Got some shadows working on. Now that's taken care of. Set down to 45. There's kind of like add a little bit of stuff to the hair, so it's easy to see that way. Erase this in because it's just not really much use. I like those light shows, look very nice with light background. Yeah, I feel like it would take a lot of practice to start with color details. I like to rough out all the colors, like a sketch, get the work for it, do fine details. Do you do a lot of color adjustments? Do you have it all bulked in? When I do color adjustments, it really does depend. It really is. So from time to time, there'll be either yes or I will, or there's sometimes where I think I got it down pat. Sometimes I will actually like legit color something a completely different color than what it's supposed to be, just for the sake of like being able to view something. Like if something is like let's say if this shirt, or actually if her whole entire fur color was like just white, I would have actually took a color like this and just colored it all in, just to be able to see where I painted at, and then just change it to that bright color. Oh, I have no idea where that. Oh, that's from the layer mask. Oh, so they're like, wait a minute, how did I get so bright all of a sudden? So yeah. Yeah, that is one thing about my whenever I draw. Sometimes I will just take an L on accident and won't even know. Until like it happens, and then for now that looks good. I think what I'm going to do next is actually I think what I should do is I wouldn't really recommend doing the same thing on how I did shading as I do highlights normally, because like wherever I place my lightings is not really going to be on the same spot. Well, it's not going to be a majority of the body. So I just normally just apply brush strokes wherever it needs to be. The other art program I tried to like the loudest paint tool, so I like paint tool, so I actually moved over from paint tool, so the only reason why I moved over was because I really did like to I don't even remember what. Oh, I remember the main reason why I did like to Psy was because no, let me recollect myself. The reason why I moved to CSP was because CSP offered a lot more that I liked over Paintel Psy. Paintel Psy, I do agree, really had like great line art tools. I feel like just Eclipse of Your Paint was, I feel like, since it was created for like manga-esque, manga and anime illustrators. I don't know why I did that. No, I don't do that either. No. Photoshop A Pro, there's those brush smoothing. Yeah, you mean like stabilization? I feel that it's just all over the place. Even with the tablet, yeah, it's one of those things where it, like, and that's another thing I do like about Psy and CSP, but especially Psy. Psy especially had a pretty much a mode where you can pretty much set the canvas stabilization, and then you can also have a stabilization for your brush, so you can combo you can kind of combo them together in order to be able to have like as smooth of a line as you possibly can. That's like one of the reasons why I feel like Psy had one of the best was one of the best programs for like a line art. Not just really because they're tools, but because of that system, how it works with stabilization. Canvas stabilization was that it's what you call smoothing, brush smoothing, where pretty much it's the higher the stabilization / smoothing, pretty much the more, really it's just that the more stable it is, the brush strokes are. They have that on at least that's something they do have on Krita. Is it different than brush stabilization? Canvas stabilization with the canvas stabilization was pretty much just like all across the board. No matter what brush you use, that level of stabilization will apply. But if you use the brush stabilization as well, it kind of stacks a bit with the canvas stabilization. Well, because canvas stabilization is pretty much, yeah, no matter what brush you use, at bare minimum, that's what it's going to be. The brush strokes are going to be set to at, so it'll function as that stabilization. But yeah, that's why I felt like, honestly, like, of all the software programs for like line art, that's why I felt like Paintel Psy was the one that did it the best, was because of the fact that you can actually combo those to create better stabilization, so you can apply more smoother and better brush strokes. If you thought of doing art professionally, or do you do already? I do have I do intend on working towards create an actual business for my craft, because I want to be an actual comic, pretty much a comic artist, and so like pretty much just make a business for my craft, because I just love doing it so much. that and then iron away. You can get rid of that now. I wanted to do comic for the longest time. I did some comics before, only only thing about it was one I didn't really get a chance to finish, but I do consider it somewhat a success because it was something that kind of paved the way of getting my foot in the door and kind of inspires me to want to do better. I think it stops every time. Imagine you have no following. That comes with time. Like I feel like you should really focus on doing what you have passion for, and then let the following come later. Because I honestly feel that like if you like, cause you're gonna have to have something to present to your following to make them want to follow you. I feel, if that makes sense. Like, for well, a good example of it is look at McDonald's. McDonald's is people know them because they do their because of their burgers. But with them, they had to at first show people that what they had to offer for people to be interested in their products. So that's where I feel like you have to learn that some people, you have to at least have something to show to the people before they become interested. That makes sense. Yeah, it's that's why I don't really get too choked up about not having like ninja level of like viewers on Twitch or anything, because even though I'm pretty much working on my stuff right now, I don't have anything to show to I don't have much to show to the audience to make them to warrant getting that much of a following for now. Like I'm pretty much showing what I have to offer, but for now I feel like I'm not at that that part of the road in life yet to where it's something that should be warranted to look into. Not warranted to demand. That's what I feel. What do you think about Patreon? I think Patreon is if you use it right, is a good way to handle things. Though the way they've been, PayPal and like a few other places have been handling like people who work in the not safe for work department, it kind of worries me. Because some people I know that work in like those fields, they just genuinely want to do what they love, and it's just like Patreon and PayPal will like give them so much shit for it. That's kind of like one of my issues with those sites. But aside from that, I tend to just use it for like, I actually haven't used I had Patreon before, but then I didn't really close it down, but I just pretty much just stopped it until I could be able to get back on my feet again in terms of like what I was doing. So with that looks good actually. Nice. And for Tammy, that's what layer was that again? If I go and do this, that's layer 40. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Oh boy. Wait, hold on. Oh my god, that's great, sensational. I think what I'll do, since I took care of her now, probably do something about this, yeah, I'm just gonna stick this above, lower it down to, there we go. This is just fine as is, and copy, multiply, yeah, that seems good. And in case something like this kind of goes off, I will, there we go. So for a while, when very young, I practiced drawing comics. However, I found one. Not once I did, I realized that storytelling really was the hardest. I realized you studying that. So how good do you think your storytelling is? Honestly, I haven't done that in a long. I'm not gonna lie, I have not done it in a long while. I say like my storytelling, it's not perfect. It does need some work, but for what it is, I feel like it can't always hurt to practice more. But I feel like I like where it's at. I like where my what is it, I like where my storytelling is at. I just need to work on it. I just need to work on it a lot more. Thank you very much for the dark schemes. I'm going to be I kind of actually added black and white. It's kind of based off of my actual desk, except the top of the desk is actually the top of my desk is actually black. But I think that should do it for tonight. I'm gonna check some few things here and there and make sure everything's good to go. Let's see. So, oh, we actually covered this whole chair too. That's good. Then let me do this then. What difference did it make? Oh, never mind. So there was much of a difference. I feel that, yeah. And of course, I want to put like a drawing cameo or something in here, because what I'm gonna do. One of my favorite things I like to do is kind of like put cameos in my own works, or cameos of my own works in my own works, but do it in an interesting way. So what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna like kind of like take one of my other drawings I completed, take a screenshot of the whole take a screenshot of this whole monitor, and then just kind of like copy it, paste it into here, and then just kind of like put it in on this monitor right here. Oh, you're welcome, man. I really, my stream, I just like to chat. I just like to chat because it kind of helps break my social awkwardness and anxiety, and also I just like to talk. So thank you for coming though. I'm gonna let me do it like this, because I have no idea why I did that, but yeah, thank you for coming. I'm gonna be yeah, I think I'm gonna head off for now after that. Let me ever save this. Alright, there we go. And yep, I'll think you could do a quick review for me. Depends on what it is. Wait. That's nice. That's pretty cool. Try to build a portfolio. I think I might be able to. I actually have not. I don't think I really built a portfolio myself, so I don't. So I'm not really too sure, but I do know one good solution if you have a Twitter is to check. If you do have a Twitter is just like just ask around if there's anybody around that can be able to help you review your portfolio and see how it looks. But yeah, I say that'd be a good way to be able to handle it. But yeah, I'm about to head out though. Hopefully I should be able to stream again tomorrow. If well, it's already tomorrow now. My time is 12 a.m. But well, very later on today, hopefully. But yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for sticking around and chatting. I'm about to take off. I'm about to work on a script and then catch up on some videos. All right, peace.